Humanitarian. I mean, my first thought was, does this mean a person who eats humans? A vegetarian eats vegetables, a humanitarian might eat humans. But I thought of that word, humanitarian. And there's a word in English, to tarry. And I looked it up in the dictionary, to tarry, to stay, to find out. Isn't that lovely? To linger, abide, remain, wait, to stay in a place. Humanitarian, to tarry on a need. You see a need and you don't go, You stick around and wonder what you can do.
We had over 300 speakers, exhibitors, and performers from all areas of the world in all areas of humanitarian work.
Participants ranged from ages 2 to 92.
Everything was free.
We're going to give some free hugs now.
This event was a humanitarian festival. It was a movement and a coming together to promote the bottom line that everybody's dash of life should be peaceful, healthy, and with adequate food, shelter, clean water, and education.
I'm Humanitarian, and I'm with Waters Life Kenya, and we develop water sources in rural areas in southern Kenya.
We take college students to Central South America, the Caribbean, and Africa to do medical missions.
Our mission is to spread the peace and non-violence of the teachings of Gandhi and King.
To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
The humanitarians involved in this event came from all religious groups, all economic strata, and all political parties. They're humanizers. Their joy comes from making a positive impact on the essentials of people's lives. We had speakers come from all over the world, from right in our backyard in Atlanta,
For responsible care, we're Atlanta-based,
to China,
Harvard of China, Peking University,
to Brazil.
Teve o maior prazer de poder participar.
Whatever cause you might have been interested in, you could find people speaking on that topic at this event.
Over 1,500 people attended the summit. Over 50 countries were represented. 3 jam-packed days full of events. There were over 150 exhibitors, over 150 speakers, over 100 performers, activities happening in over 20 rooms. There were inside and outside activities, kids activities, adults activities. We had over 150 volunteers who were organizers or worker bees during the event. Thousands of hours of professional services were volunteered.
It was just wonderful seeing all these wide variety of people.
It's bringing together so many different kinds of people from all different areas of profession, not only medical, but even other humanitarian efforts.
How about Jim Withers, a doctor in Pittsburgh, and he's a faculty member, professor at a medical school. And where does he do his rounds? Under bridges on homeless patients throughout Pittsburgh, and takes residents and other doctors who want to volunteer and students. And then he started an international organization of people who treat homeless folks.
Then we have the holism section that has had just one wonderful speaker after another concerning alternative medicine and all the new technology that is going to make us smarter, brighter, and warm and fuzzier. That's the way I look at it.
And then there was Darius Maggi and his partner.
And 2 surgeons from Texas, stand up guys, they quit medicine in the United States, they go to Sierra Leone, and they do fistula repairs on women who have had babies too big to come out, and the baby rotted in their uterus, and they're living miserable lives, and they gave up their practice to go and do this, and they need volunteers. So if you see those 2 handsome men, anybody here want to volunteer and help them? We got some people, so see them in the back of the room at the end of the show.
Or a fellow whose grandfather was the president and brought democracy to South Korea, and his grandson's passion is bringing peace to the world. We had Jeremy Seligson, another guy from South Korea, who flew in from South Korea with his daughter, and they talked about their wonderful efforts.
We had kids draw pictures about peace, preferably peace in their lives, and we're hoping to get people to start their own peace trains so we can have drawings of peace from all over the world, so that will raise awareness about the need for world peace.
Crayola bombs. That's what we're doing, dropping Crayola bombs. They get off their frustrations through drawing pictures rather than killing each other.
And Steve Thilgent, he works with an organization called medicalmissions.org. You go to that website and you can join 13,000 people who've done medical volunteer work all over the world. Not just doctors, lay people who go and do this.
And everyone else would run and hide in these caves. And they would drop bombs everywhere where they just were. And then when the bombing stopped, they would come out, see if the patient was still there, and if they were, they would just go back to work.
It was a wonderful event back in 1999 when Patch Adams and I did a fundraiser, Patch being the author of Patch Adams, which turned into the movie Patch Adams, and my contribution being the author of Doc Hollywood, which turned into the movie. Robin Williams wasn't the real Patch Adams. Michael Fox wasn't the real Doc Hollywood. They're more handsome than both of us. But in any event, here we are again at the Global Humanitarian Summit, 11 years later. And Patch is one of the entertainers/speakers who inspires all of us to be humanitarians.
You know, I left the third hospitalization when I was 18, saying that I was going to love people, serve humanity, and never have another bad day. 27 years ago, I started to go to the hell of the world. I've been at 10,000 deathbeds as a clown. I've held several thousand children dying of starvation in my arms, taken clowns into 3 war zones, and countless refugee camps. And you know something? I fell in love with humanity. I found that almost everybody wants a playmate. Almost everybody wants friendliness. Here's my clown class, okay? Let's all do it. Twinkle in the eye, twinkle, 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 put a twinkle in your eye. Notice when you put a twinkle in your eye, what happens? You put a smile on your face. Uh-oh. Okay, smile on your face, twinkle in the eye, willingness to greet. You just passed my clown class. And people are nice. They let me do anything to them I want to. So I walk right up to them and look them in the eye in a friendly way.
And how about the workshops? There's a wonderful fellow, Orlando, from Brazil. His workshop was one to help with emergency preparedness. Another workshop was led by Dr. Garrett Adams and Dr. Henry Kahn. They want to make sure that everybody in the United States has access to health care. And they've led a team of thousands of other doctors in this pursuit. There was also a wide spectrum of exhibits.
Now all these people doing good. Isn't that nice?
We work for a refugee resettlement program, and I have been in refugee camp 7 years. So although I speak the language, most of the refugees don't speak the language, and they need help. So then I decided while I was in the camp, I decided to assist these people who need my help.
There is an international poetry table.
We do poetry from all over the world, including the first poetry from wartime Iraq, first poetry from the pro-democracy movement in Iran. So if you want to get a better understanding of the world from the inside, from the hearts of these people, poetry is the best way to do that.
The theft of dreams is the greatest disaster. The tracks of the thieves are stamped on every street of every city, of every country.
There were emergency relief tents that could be constructed in crisis zones around the world, and you could go in one of these tents.
Let me show you the shelter box tent. This is our deal here, the large shelter box tent where we send them all around the world. It's basically enough space for 10 people when they've lost everything, wherever that may be. What really put us on the map was our Haiti response. We sent 28,000 of these to Haiti. This is pretty rewarding work. It doesn't pay me a dime, but it has sent me around the world, though.
You could wander around and learn about and talk individually with people who are really fired up about that.
I was prepared for meeting people from all over the world. I was prepared for even being exposed to people in my own community that I'd never heard about and didn't know about their wonderful local projects. But what I wasn't expecting was the exuberance, the enthusiasm, just the sheer goofy fun that we experienced here. When people deal with every day in their lives things that are gut-wrenching, it is amazing that their spirit can continue to be so frivolous and happy and joyous while they are focusing on the most difficult issues and of the human condition.
So all these humanitarians, and many, many, many more, doing wonderful things in the United States and around the world, came together and shared their joy.
Our hope in providing interfacing opportunities between people doing humanitarian work, people wanting to do humanitarian work, people hoping to expand their work, is to inspire concrete humanitarian action and get results.
Welcome to America. Hey, we got it made. Land of opportunity, from the cradle to the grave. Welcome to America. Hard as we try, we all need a little help sometimes, just getting by.
When I was a little kid, I remember working and trying to save money, and money was something that people talked about a lot. I wanted to get my mom a mink coat one day, have a big Cadillac. And then, as I grew older, I just noticed that the people who were the happiest were not the people with the most money.
If you put yourself in a jam in money by actually following your dream, by actually living it, by putting aside the financial risk, knowing that the biggest risk is in not following the dream, or in faltering along the way because you take your eye off the end goal because a hurdle comes along that suddenly takes too much of your time that you have to address. But as I said before, it's a hurdle. A hurdle is nothing but a hill to climb so you can see further.
And I'm a very selfish person. So I said, I want to be happy. So it's pretty simple. Since the people who are the happiest are the people who seem to be concerned about helping other people, I wanted to be one of them. I was just selfish.
Sacrifice. You know, it's a really bad reputation of humanitarian work, that somehow you give up the good life for the rough, hard life. It's hooey. Stuff is not the good life. Prizes, piles of money, stuff is not the good life. Maximally spending your loving kindness to yourself and others, that's the good life.
What's true about being involved in humanitarian effort, and I found this personally and have seen it especially through the Global Health Humanitarian Summit project, that when anyone can experience it from an intimate place and get it in their heart, get it in their body, what they're offering, what is being offered, what is being supported, instead of just a head thing, but when it's through the heart, people are more likely to act and respond from that place.
If I can help
richest man in the world, Bill Gates, how does he spend his time? He spends his time not showing off how many cars he has, or how many boats he has, or how many houses he has, but trying to inspire other wealthy people to do what he does. And he goes out and meets with little kids, he and his wife, in villages in Africa, and makes friends with them to try to help them. So he's selfish too. He wants to make a difference, and it's what makes him and his family the happiest.
The people who are doing good works in the world, the thing that unites them all is this, it's a heart feeling. This thing that unites them all is this inner drive in their heart to make the world a better place. But with their own skill set and their own cultural background and their own focus and their own part that they're contributing to this puzzle that is humanity.
You know, I have trouble. I'm a 2 to 5 hour a night sleeper because it's so energizing to help other people. It's a fire. If you're feeling this fire, I want you to show it. There are probably few things that hurt humanitarian work more than it looking like it's hard or draining or that it's, oh my God, I'll still do it, forsooth. If we want to be a world that wants a life of living humanitarianly speaking, be seductive. Show and let people feel your sense of privilege that you get to do this work, that you get to practice medicine exactly the way you dream of, no compromises. Instead, be energized. There's nothing about our work that has attracted other people to it, and we are involved all over the world like being juicy ourselves. People want juicy. A lot of times they take drugs to try to find juicy. And you're on the drug. It's called giving. Giving your love and help for other people. Radiate your glee. Why don't you just wiggle your arms in your face and show that love, that juicy love of humanitarian juice. Holy smoke, it feels good. Oh, I want some of that. Ow!
When people who help other people connect with each other, they are happier. And the human experience is at its highest level when people are helping other people and being humanitarian.
What this conference and other conferences can do is give a lot of people out there the opportunity to realize that when they have an idea, or that they will have ideas, that they can actually make it happen, instead of just sort of thinking about it and then getting discouraged because you think, oh, I'm not as big as an organization like CARE or the Red Cross or UNICEF or Doctors Without Borders. But a lot of those organizations, of course, started small. But what we have at a conference like this is hundreds of small efforts around the world being showcased in a way that inspires you to put your own inspiration into effect and your own vision into reality.
So the more people you get together doing this, it can become explosive. And it not only inspires other people to do this type of work, but it also creates synergy. So when one person's doing something that's really innovative, another person who's doing something similar can learn from that person, and they can join forces.
One of the things that was really important that emerged from the summit was the cross-connections, the cross-pollination between different organizations. And the variety and the difference, the variance between one organization and another was really great, which meant that you had people who were in the medical field talking to people who are in strictly the social and humanitarian area.
You try to infect everywhere, and you believe that The millions of people in this second working for it, you feel they're on your team. So you're never going, oh God, it's really hard. Oh boy, I'm all by myself trying to change the world.
I think people really got inspired by the connections that they made with other people doing things, and it gave them renewed energy to continue to do what they're doing. They saw how their effort was a part of a bigger, massive, worldwide effort by individuals trying to make a difference. Just like you've got a lot of different cells that go into creating one whole organ, you may not be aware of what all the different important roles that and how what your role is, as well as the important roles of all these other small little efforts going on.
And I wish these things happen in more places, like, you know, in the US, even throughout the world.
There's opportunity for tens of hundreds of thousands of people to have been helped by organizations linking together.
We want you to duplicate this type of event in other places in the world so it becomes a movement, and beat us at doing it. We want to have humanitarian summits all over the world.
We're here at the Emory University Global Health and Humanitarian Summit, and right now I'm standing here with Yusuf Haruna from Ghana outside his mobile clinic. Do you think you could tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes. This bus here was purchased to serve as a mobile clinic in Ghana, to go to rural areas in Ghana to provide healthcare screening. The bus basically will go from town to town within a 50-mile radius of the regional capitals in Ghana, provide healthcare. Basically, we're looking at diabetes, hypertension, and cardio and breast cancer. So the bus will be equipped with a satellite that will beam this healthcare information and data to physicians in the world, all over the world. This here is an outline of what the bus is going to look like when it's converted. So the patient's coming from the front door, they wait over here. On the left-hand side of the bus, the seats will be removed and turned around, and that will serve as an area for blood pressure and diabetes screening. At the back of the bus, you're going to have a second examination room, which will be used for cardio examinations.
My name is Christine Conley, and I work with Heartbeat International Foundation, and we are super excited about the concept of this diagnostic bus, because what we do is partner with the medical manufacturers of pacemakers, and we get pacemakers donated to our organization, which we then take to third world developing countries, and we have a system of doctors and hospitals in place who implant those pacemakers at no charge to the patient. And so this bus represents a wonderful diagnostic tool that can go anywhere we need it to and help us find patients that need those pacemakers.
And I appreciate the time that Mr. Yusuf has given to us and showed us this idea, which is remarkable.
We are already active in Ghana, where this bus is heading, so we're very excited about the potential progress that our two organizations can make with this bus in the diagnostics and pacemaker industry. And we also look forward to hopefully transferring this idea into other countries as well, and that way we can make this a really global impact.
MD Junior has been able to kind of target three main new projects. The first is MD Junior is working in collaboration with another organization to start Leadership for a Healthier World, targeting childhood obesity. The second is a mentorship program in Dallas, Texas, and that event is next week. And then the third is MD Junior, as a result of the summit, has been able to volunteer plenty of times at MedSure and also plans to do that in the future.
We shared information on people with disabilities with their issues. We learned, we met, we interacted with people from all over the world.
So we had some great ideas come out.
Also, I met Mr. Dennis Murray. He asked me to come over to a school called Peyton Forest Elementary School. And I set up a golf obstacle course for the kids. And I had them to sign a golf ball, what they wanted to do in life, and I gave them the ball. And so I enjoyed that.
One of the things that I've found is my ministry with the homeless. I've developed something called a homeless buddy kit. I was promoting the buddy kit before, but now I'm involved with the Presbyterian Church, and I would not be if it were not for the summit.
What I got from it was
meeting a lot of different people that do humanitarian work of all types. I met a lady from Kenya, and I told her that I was soon going to make a trip to Kenya because we've had a organization there that wants us to come and train their women in the villages to become a volunteer group. And I was thinking about how we might do this and what's the most effective way. Well, it so happened that this lady's father is a retired school principal that lived right near the village where I'm going to start working. So with that contact, we're ready to start our work, and probably we'll cut a year or so off of the development that we would have had to have done.
Someone had said, there's a fellow from Cameroon, he needs a place to stay. So 2 different times I took a piece of paper to the planning meeting and I said, does anyone have a place for this gentleman from Cameroon? Out of it came a woman who not only agreed to keep Tonto, but she actually had him bring his girlfriend.
I'm Dieudonné Tantom Foba, and you can call me Farmer Tanto.
I'm Farmer Tanto's fiancé. So I've been working with Farmer for 5 years as a volunteer. It was due to this conference that I got connected with Lisa. Lisa is someone who has a heart of humanity.
Quinte is now staying at my house for about 6 weeks, and she drove a car for the first time today, and we worked on Google Docs. But we're looking at things that she's never been exposed to in Africa, and how we can have teachings from here go back to her village and Tanta's village. And we're learning tremendous things from her we have an organic farm where I live, and some other things that she's been already teaching people in the 3 days she's been there.
One more thing that came out was a donor gave a very handsome check to this young man so that he can continue his work.
But I believe that one day the whole world will be impacted from the grassroots programs we're doing in Africa.
With this humanitarian conference, we are not able, with all these people who have this heart of help, this helping heart, to come together.
Our hope is that the Global Humanitarian Summit will not be a conference, but it will be a movement. Gandhi had a movement. Martin Luther King had a movement. We want humanitarians throughout the world to be the movers, the Gandhis, the MLKs, and to start these events all over the globe.
It's a really good opportunity to be able to interact and network with people who all have their hearts in the right places, you know, even though it's by different venues or different avenues and from all around the world. I think it's an amazing experience.
I mean, there's people from all over the world involved, that are volunteers, that are speakers, and it truly is a global event. So I've really enjoyed working with it. I've enjoyed seeing the growth, and want to continue to be a part of it for many years to come.
I think it's an amazing effort, an amazing conference, and definitely looking forward to many more in the future.
I would encourage anybody who hasn't been to the conference to come, and also encourage people to try to do something locally in your own area. You'll be amazed how many wonderful people you meet.
It would be helpful if people take the initiative to bring it back to their home countries or towns or what have you and get it started.
I hope that there are some young folks that come and can get inspired to continue with this kind of work, because it's really needed and has the potential to change their life.
As a high schooler, I want to give a sincere thanks to the organizers, especially Zoe and Dr. Shulman, who are now mentors at MD Junior, and I want to thank you guys for the opportunity, for giving me the opportunity to give back to the community and connect with other humanitarians around the world.
The summit has produced a great fertilization, and we know that people are going to expand this from city to city, from organization to organization. So I recommend it highly. It produces great results.
We want to be the Global Economic Summit with global humanitarian summits.
If we can do it, you can do it.
It's only if we do it this way that we can see a global change and we can be very proud of being humans. Hello, humanity!
Hello, humanity!
The event was held on Emory University's beautiful springtime campus.
There were over 20 spaces on campus that were used for this event, whether it was lecture halls holding 450 people, or meeting rooms holding 20 people, or atriums where exhibit areas were, or kids' activities happened.
I'm Andrea Lentz, Assistant Director of the Dobbs University Center and Manager of Meeting Services here at Emory University. When you're bringing this number of people to campus, I think it's really important to bring all of that service element together. When Neil approached me with reserving space here at the Dobbs University Center, I could see from talking about the initiatives that he was going to need a lot of space on campus. And some of those spaces were not under my purview, but in colleagues' buildings on campus. So I suggested that it might be a good idea, bringing so many people to campus and using so many spaces on campus, that we have a coordinated meeting with the various entities who reserve space, provide service, deliver things to rooms, housekeeping, transportation, police, all those kinds of service individuals on campus. We got together and Neil was able to tell us all at once what his program was about and what impact that would have on the campus as a whole. So communication is key, getting the volunteers to understand how the university functions, who the decision makers are, and then just linking all those folks together from the university side and from the volunteer side. The universities know how to do big events. I know at Emory we've had the Dalai Lama, other universities have had huge speakers, and graduation is always a big event. We know how to do it, but sometimes if you're not knowledgeable about that process, you don't really know where to begin.
How do you go about finding someone like you?
I think you could start with the student union or university center. There's usually a person in that facility that schedules meeting rooms in that facility. Sometimes that individual does other space on campus like we do here. And if you don't schedule other spaces, you surely know who does. It's exciting to watch it go from start to finish and see it grow from year to year. It's been a real fun project for me.
I feel very privileged to have been part of the recent Global Health and Humanitarian Summit at Emory, and we had hundreds of volunteers who made it happen.
This has been an incredible experience. I've been feel so full of joy for being able to be involved with Dr. Neil and Zoe and all the incredible volunteers. One of the things I love about it is it's really from the heart. Everybody here is really doing this work because they believe in it, they want to help others, and they want goodwill for fellow humans, which is Dr. Neil's goal. So we're all here in this together.
You are behind the scenes, behind the camera through all of this. What's your perspective on this, Samir?
This is a lot of work, man, but it's quite a bit of fun and having a good time.
Lori's been doing an awesome, incredible job. She's been here from the morning till the night, taking all kinds of phone calls. Her cell phone was even put on the website, so she has strangers calling her constantly, and she's such a great sport about it.
Oh no, I want phone to see for the job.
It's one of those things that can totally consume you while it's happening, but it was all very, very much worthwhile.
The weekly meetings were a great opportunity to get inspired and to get involved. The meetings were both a sort of a networking opportunity for people that were doing stuff right there, and an opportunity to bring some of their talents, like press stuff. Tess was excellent. So we discovered a lot of talent from those weekly meetings that were often So much the participants were people that Neil had met throughout his comings and goings during the week, and so we'd have new people coming in all the time and new people signing up and getting involved. And it was also very inspiring to see how just individuals again really put a lot of personal commitment into doing this without a lot of individual recognition, but just an opportunity wanting to be a part of this effort. And I think every one of them was tremendously rewarded because it gave them an opportunity really to be a part of a significant effort.
The website for the Global Health and Humanitarian Summit was all developed for free by a volunteer, undergraduate student at Emory University. Maki, on his own, developed this incredible website that got over 75,000 hits. It was very innovative and gave us an opportunity to network with people all over the world, and it didn't cost us a cent. With technology today, let the world know exactly what you're doing. I encourage you to find another Maki. Videotape or take photos of the planning meetings, the event itself, the connecting. Invite the world to do it. It doesn't have to be just a specific person or two. We had a team of volunteers from the community who just said, let me bring my camera and we'll make it happen.
Absolutely, absolutely, because everybody's so photogenic here.
I was involved with essentially trying to coordinate all of the speakers. We had well over 200 speakers and the topics and all the organization along with Zoe trying to put all that together. I was skeptical at first about the approach, which was essentially very egalitarian, very democratic, essentially that anybody that wanted to speak about something could sign up and speak. My initial thought was, well, we should be screening these people, we should be more trying to determine how they fit in, whatever, but it turned out to be a wonderful conference because of the huge variation in the speakers and what they had to talk about. So 15, 20 minutes talking about huge range of topics, and you had an opportunity to go to 7, 8 different general areas and hear 10, 20, 50 speakers in those areas talk about these things. And I think the other part of it is they are also people that are still trying to learn and wanting to expand and wanting to make those connections between people, which was invaluable.
I was the moderator for one of the rooms and 3 sessions where I had all different organizations coming in and talking about what amazing work they're doing all around the world and in the US, like, you know, dealing with poverty, dealing with childhood learning and women empowerment and all kinds of different humanitarian motives. I have built up some really good connections, some friendships which will last me a lifetime.
Somebody else, other people had been involved with pulling the exhibitors together, and I hadn't really thought much about what value the exhibitors provided. Having those exhibitor tables was absolutely key. One gives all of these groups an opportunity to display what they're doing and to talk about it and to sign people up if that's what they want, or just to get information out about what they're doing. But just as important was the opportunity for all of us participants in the conference to come out and look at these things and start talking both to an exhibitor that's there as well as other participants. And you saw a lot of discussion going on, a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, and you got a tangible way of seeing the huge breadth of programs going on out there. So anybody that's thinking about putting on a conference like this, I would encourage you to really bring in the exhibitors to help provide that glue that pulls the whole conference together.
Meet with kindness, love, and care, always sharing. Thank you, humanitarians.
The passion, the shout, the breath of fresh air that makes you dare.
And there are about exhibitors, about 120, and will be mainly in this building and in the School of Medicine, which is just a few steps away in that direction. Then across the street, we have a lot of children's programs.
And I am the kids coordinator for the Global Health and Humanitarian Summit. Part of what we're looking to see is that humanitarian efforts happen because they're experienced from an early age, and communities are built with this kind of interest and activism.
We're all a family under one sky, a family under one sky. We're all a family under one sky, a family under one sky. When the rain comes down, it comes down on everyone. No matter if you're rich or poor, it comes down on everyone. Let's make a circle and the rays of the sun. And when the sun shines down.
When children come to events like this and they ask their parents, what is this about? Why are we here? And parents share with them their passion about serving in community, and their children witness their parents serving in community. That's where it all starts. A vision that I had was that organizations that go out into community and do community service, that they incorporate an opportunity for children to participate, and also that they have an intimate connection with what the service project is intending to do.
How many in this room have had some personal experience with Alzheimer's? My mother had dementia. My family denied using the A word, as I refer to it. So this song is one it's difficult for me to do. I compose music, I sing, I'm also a visual artist, and did all the above and danced at the summit. And a lady came up to me and she said, "Have you received a Genius grant?"
I felt very honored to have a song that I wrote that got to be sung at the summit, and through doing that I met just some amazing musicians and talented performers who will help get the other project going, which has to do with supporting people who are trying to write songs or perform songs or write music that has to do with inspiring different causes that are humanitarian causes.
I am waiting on my own, and so I tried to call my minister. The voice came on the phone. For funerals, press 1. For baptism, press 2. And I didn't want either one of them. And I never found a real person.
There were minimal expenses for putting on this event. All of the space was provided to us free of cost. Our only ancillary costs were things like printing the program or for AV technical support.
We did get some resources to make this event happen, but it wasn't the number one key focused area, and we didn't need a lot of money. The money actually found us. These wonderful people do find you. The Marafi Foundation from Kuwait, which does wonderful things all over the world, including building a hospital in
I'm the
Pakistan.
Marafi Foundation mascot. They're trying to help the human race by having them have as little exposure to me as possible.
And then an individual, John Shippey, who's a delightful gentleman who has a big heart and is a big patient advocate.
People who wear this uniform have no voice.
And he himself wanted to see this event happen. And then there's a fellow by the name of Sonny. He belongs to an organization called Global Heat. It's a nonprofit that provides help in getting essentials to the people who live in developing countries. And they put up some money. But people will find you. And even at the event itself, there will be people who hear about it and say, wow, I'd like to go and pick out some groups that I'd like to give money to. Instead of them coming to me, I'd like to go and see a smorgasbord of opportunities. A global health and humanitarian summit, at least in our opinion, is one that is truly global and truly humanitarian. It is not focused on helping a specific group. It's not focused on helping in a specific country. It's not focused on helping a specific ethnic group. It is focused on bringing together people who do humanitarian things, the wide spectrum of those efforts. If one wants to take a specific goal and accomplish that relating to a very specific humanitarian program, that's great and it's fine, but it's not a global humanitarian summit. The movement of this is not a special interest, but it's a look at the entire human race and saying we want to gather everybody who does something for everybody.
Our mission is to ignite increased worldwide humanitarian action by creating opportunities for existing projects to form alliances, connect with resources, and expand, and by encouraging the growth of new humanitarian initiatives.
We're humans on the planet. We should behave so that we deserve the word humanitarian.